Good afternoon, everyone. I am D Venom, and thank you for allowing me to raise your vibrations. I hope all of my people of addiction and or the non that reside within our beautiful planet are staying on that straight and narrow and doing everything possible to elude any bad energies that will jeopardize and or lower one's vibrations. I myself personally, I have been clean from methamphetamine since the 8th of October, you guys. I told you all, but the main person that I've told is myself that you will not bring your birthday in, which is at the end of the month, being a part of that damn matrix. You're just not going to do it. And thus far, so good. Even though I did have that little relapse, that's fine. That was meant to happen. And that was a learning lesson. And from there, I picked up those pieces and got my life back in order. And that's how you do it. You know, you don't sit around and boo-hoo. No, it's not all about that, you know, boo-hooing and all that type of shit and just wallowing in your own shit. I don't want to smell my own shit. I flush it right down the motherfucking toilet. Trust me, I don't want to, and I have incense going. I don't want to smell that shit. More or less feel it coming out of me. But anyway, moving on from that. I checked out a couple of podcasts, you guys, and I know that I checked out Dopey's podcast, and you have a very interesting podcast, Dopey. If I haven't mentioned that before, I meant to leave a message on your podcast, but I forgot to do that. The episode that I listened to was the meth episode, with you and a couple of other, I think you have quite a few meth episodes, if I'm not mistaken. But, yeah, this one had, I don't want to lie, so I know I had you on there and a few other individuals, and it was a really good episode. Thanks for being so open and fresh and things of that particular nature, you know, upfront and honest. You know, that's the main thing, being honest. And yeah, you definitely tell your fucking story and then some. I checked out Shorty V. You have a very interesting podcast, some interesting guests, interesting music, interesting topics of conversation. You know, you have a good podcast, so thank you for following me. I really do appreciate it, and I'm learning a lot from you guys because y'all are like, you know, I guess I could say veterans in the game, so y'all know a little bit more than what I do. So I'm learning a lot about being brave and being, you know, a little bit more, let me take the word brave back and use the word audacious instead. You know, I'm learning how to just step outside of my comfort zone, listening to a lot of you other individuals out there. Porcupine. I want to say porcupine, but I know that is not the motherfucking name. Oh my God. Porcupine, you know exactly who I'm talking about. But anyway, I checked out your platform as well, and I checked out the episode where you were interviewing some lady from Panama, I believe, and that was an interesting episode. But through you, I'm learning how to be a little bit more, as I said earlier, audacious and take some more bold steps. You know, you seem like you don't give a fuck about taking that microphone and taking your ass to where you need to go to get some interviews or wherever else. Hold on, I'll be right back. And then you'll leave one motherfucking place and go somewhere else and start interviewing folks. I'm just like, that's how you do it, though. You know, I mean, I take my microphone everywhere I go because I just never know when I may have a moment where I may need to break that motherfucker out and utilize it. So I get where I get it. Damn, I keep wanting to say porcupine. I don't know where the pork comes in from. But I know that it's not what it is. It's on the tip of my fucking tongue too, and oh my god. But anyway, I'm going to be checking out quite a few other of your podcasts as well, plus the individuals whom are following me and whatever else. I intend on listening to an episode or two of all of you guys as a thank you, because I really do appreciate your following me. It's people like yourself that keep me going and keeping me telling my stories and things of that particular nature. And speaking of stories, I have a few for you. And let's start off with one of them. Have you ever had a dream where, you know, shit is crawling on you or something like that, and you're swatting at it and whatever, and, you know, when you wake up, come to find out a little later on that the shit is actually real, that some shit was really crawling on your motherfucking ass? Okay, now, I was listening to a podcast the other day that is centered around the show I Survived. Have any of you guys ever watched or listened to the podcast I Survived? Those are some damn good motherfucking episodes. I promise you. This is real life. Well, I'm hoping it's real life stuff, but these are actors and actresses. These motherfuckers are getting paid good because they damn sure be acting out them scenes, and crying on the spot and whatever else the case may be. But I don't think these are no fucking actors and actresses. These are real life people that have gone through some real life trauma and trials and tribulations and whatever else in regard to their lives. But yeah, I was listening to that shit one day before getting ready to go to work, and it's one thing, and I think I told you guys this, it's one thing to watch it, and I should have got some water or something to drink before starting this episode. My throat is dry. Anyway, it's one thing to watch those particular episodes and see the individuals that are going through, that are telling the stories and going, you know, reenacting what they, you know, went through. But it's another thing to listen to the stories via podcast and hear the individuals talk about how they cut their hands from in between the tree, and how they, you know, saw, oh my goodness, and it was like, and I twisted it like this, but you can't see how, you can't see, you know, how they're twisting or whatever. I mean, you just can't see them doing any of this, but they're telling a story, and they're telling like how they twisted their ankle out of this jam and how it was painful and blah, 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 blah. But, you know, the fact that we can't see them doing it, me being an empath, I feel it even more, if y'all know what I'm saying. It's just like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? It's just one of those particular moments where it's just like, oh, you just feel it. And I felt this so much in regard to practically every story that I listened to that particular morning, and I was in tears, child. I mean, there was moments that I thought I was going to break down with the most ugliest cry of them all, and yeah, it was just one of them things. But anyway, I was listening to a story, and I'd seen the video before. I know that I have. It was about, I think they were in the army, and either way, a Russian See, it's y'all damn Russians. Y'all want booty, y'all want head, y'all want coochie, y'all want every motherfucking thing. Y'all want to capture folks and hold people hostage and kill bitches. Damn, y'all motherfucking Russians. Y'all don't see, I need y'all on my team. But anyway, my Russians captured some U.S. people and wanted to go back to their base. And without giving too much of the story away, they went back to the base, and I forgot what type of people that captured them. I don't know if they were Arabian or what, but it was just a tripped out story. But wait, was this a story? No. This is not the one. The story that I am thinking about is the one with the ants, because this is what happened to me this morning. Now, what I was talking about earlier about snapping, fingers and stuff between the tree or whatever. Okay, this is what happened. This dude was driving in a van, and his van, just went out of control, and it went over the rail thing, and it landed like about 20 feet or some shit like that. But anyway, the dude survived, but on the way down, he his hand got caught between some trees or whatever, and I think that it just got caught. So dude, he was out of it, and when he came to, he didn't realize what happened, and he seen this set of hands in between the trees or whatever, and was just like, oh my God, I've killed someone, I've hurt somebody, not realizing that this was his own motherfucking hand, bitch. Oh, I'm telling y'all, I survived is the truth. Now, I don't want to tell too much of the story and give it away. But this motherfucking man, I guess by the time it was over and done with, his hand that was caught in between this tree was infected. It had died and whatever. So he took his knife, and he said that without feeling anything, he was just able to pop off his motherfucking fingers, and that still did not get his hand away from them from that tree. In a nutshell, even though I know the tree, I know that was painful, but I think that tree was helping him to survive, to be honest with you, because anyway, I just had to see the story or hear the story. I think it's via Cold Case Files, and they have about a couple of episodes of I Survived on there. But anyway, so the man was out there for a couple of motherfucking days, and one night he went to sleep and woke up. No, back to the fingers, bitch. So anyway, after popping all his fingers off, and he said he set them to the side, and then something happened, and I guess while he was trying to saw himself out of that position, he heard some scurrying and fighting and whatever the case may be, and he didn't know what that was. So when he turned around, he said that he seen some rats fighting over his fingers. The same, oh my, can you imagine? Can you imagine? And he said that he was upset at the fact that these rats had came along, and nasty as they are, you nasty ass varmints, they took his fingers and not only were eating on them, but were fighting over them. And that made him want to get free even more. I don't know if he got his fingers back from them damn nasty rats. But anyway, there came a part where the man had to go to sleep. And when he woke up, he was covered in ants. And these ants were not only crawling on parts of his body that wasn't injured from the wreck, but these ants were all over the flesh. Y'all see how I said flesh? I had to come real with it, honey. They was all over the flesh that was damaged. Can you just, oh my God, just thinking about my own situation this morning with these damn ants. But anyway, his open wounds that was bleeding and probably down to the bone in some area was being, and this is on parts of his body that he couldn't even reach. So just imagine these ants crawling all over you, all over parts of your body that is damaged and open to the world. And these ants are taking bites out of those wounds. Oh my goodness. Oh, just what he was describing just sound like sheer pain. Anyway, that's an episode of I Survived that y'all need to check out. For real. For real, for real. But anyway, my situation, I'm a little impetuous when it comes to snacking and leaving wrappers and shit, you know, out and about and thinking that nothing's going to happen. I'm like that with dishes. I have dishes in my sink now that after I get done with this episode, I'm going to get up off my lazy ass and go in there and get them dishes out of there because I don't have time. I mean, it's one thing to deal with roaches, but it's another thing to deal with ants. And I'm sleeping and I'm dreaming at the same time. I don't know what I'm dreaming about, but my dream, from what I can remember, you know, to my recollect, centered around, I think, outside and being covered with creepy crawling things. And that's what I was feeling. And I remember smacking my neck and, you know, wherever these things were crawling on a couple of times. And I remember feeling something on my fingers when I was rubbing, but I was so tired that I just didn't care about all that. Then I would get up and go to the bathroom, whatever, come back, lie back down, and before I knew it, I was back into a nice deep sleep and feeling these ants crawling on me. Now, when I woke up this morning, I didn't see anything right away. And before I lied down completely, I remember snacking on some crackers that I got from out the refrigerator, little oyster crackers. Y'all know what those are, right? Oyster crackers. That's what I was snacking on. These motherfucking ants must have, I don't know how they got the signal that this big bitch done left some oyster crackers out. Let's go retrieve them motherfuckers. I look in a certain spot, like on my cooler, and I see a bunch of ants, and I'm just like, oh no. They were crawling, boy, all over my papers, all over, they were just everywhere. Antennas just going, just giving the signal to all the other ants there. We done found them damn crackers, bitch. Anyway, I must have had some crumbs or remnants or something on the floor because there was a pile of them down there too. And I feel bad because these are innocent creatures. And I said that I wasn't going to be killing these innocent insects for doing what they naturally are meant to do. They were foraging for food, and my big ass left some stuff out for them to forage. And here I am getting upset because the ants are invading my space when truly I'm invading their space. And I just didn't want it to get out of hand. So yeah, I killed some of the motherfuckers and put diatomaceous earth on their ass. And brutal death, brutal. But I don't see no creeping, crawling things. So obviously they signaled they posse not to come up in this bitch because this whole got booby traps, and you will die a brutal death because it was kind of brutal how I came at them. But the diatomaceous earth, that would have been enough. And I just think I feel kind of bad, but I just don't want to be dealing with any ants. I don't have no food like that. I'm waiting on my food stamps. I mean, to keep it real, I truly am. Shit. And speaking of food stamps, when I was at the DES office yesterday, you guys, continuing on with my Ice Cube, today is a good day because I had another one of those good days today. Nothing to my recollect went wrong at work on my behalf. Energies was high at work amongst, the people that I work with. I'm not going to say chastised about a few things, but I was told about a few things that, I guess I needed to be aware of. Nothing major at all. Me being ADHD, I forgot what the fuck it was. I need to remember what the fuck, they was talking about, so I can be aware that the next time that I go to work, which will be tomorrow. But, let me see what else. Nothing. I can't think. I mean, it was a good day at work, I mean, I got through it with the cash register. I got them damn kids fed. I see that certain students enjoy coming in my line for some reason. I'm not sure if it's the mohawk that signifies that, hey, this person is cool, or if it's my demeanor. I'm not sure what it is, but there are plenty of students that I notice that constantly come in my line for things, and I don't mind, I mean, now that I've gotten the swing of things, and I'm learning their behavior like they're learning mine. So it's quite interesting. I find it interesting. 22:50, the time of the recording. 22:55, the time of the recording. Okay. So anyway, I was going somewhere with this. Hold on one second. I was too busy looking at angelic time and lost my frame of thought. They say when you lose your frame of thought, you just kind of like close your eyes and step outside of your body, so to speak, and go back into the room or whatever that you came from, and then that thought will come back to mind. I know that it had to do with work to a degree. No, it had to do with me just having a good day. That was nobody being talked about. I wasn't talking about anybody. Nobody was talking about me type scenario. And yeah, it was just a good fucking day. No, the DES office is where I was at. But anyway, while at the DES office yesterday, continuing on with my good day, these young ladies brought a smile to my face. And when you've been in the Matrix for a while, the drug life, you can tell other people whom either have fucked around or is fucking around. and these two ladies were directed to the line that I was standing in, and they, to me, had that appearance of the Matrix. And I hate to judge people because I can't think of who this lady, I can't think of her name, but she has a quote that says, labels are for jars, not for people. And that's the truth. You know, I mean, when you look at jars, they are labeled and whatever else the case may be. And they got directions on them and whatever. And, you know, they give us direction in regard to what to do and what not to do. How to enjoy, how not to enjoy. But you don't see that written on people, you know, in regard to labels and things of that particular nature. You know, we just go around labeling people because I guess we feel like we can, and you know, it's not right in the long run. Excuse me, you guys, but hold on, I was just checking the time. Okay, but anyway, going back in, these young ladies, they were talking amongst themselves. They were right behind me, and the one girl was happy that she didn't have to stand in that long ass line in the DES office just like I was. And she was just basically saying, like, you know, today is a good day. You know, we don't have to stand in that line, blah, 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 blah. We're sober and, you know, yada, yada, yada. And then the other girl chimed in and she was just like, yeah, it does feel good to be sober and, you know, something else. And I wanted to join that topic of conversation so bad, but I kept my mouth shut and allowed them to have the floor. And their happiness was my happiness at that point. And I just, you know, put a smile on my face for them because, you know, it's hard to admit that you are happy being sober because you've probably been in that lifestyle for so long in regard to the Matrix that's all you really know. And for a minute, that's all I really knew was the Matrix, you know, because I was trapped in it for so fucking long. And these young ladies probably felt the same way. You know, this is all we know is the man. And not judging, but just telling the truth. They look like they had a hard motherfucking life within the Matrix. And they probably looked at me and was like, "There, this big tall ass bitch. That bitch twisted. Yeah, that bitch hit that glass dick." Yeah, I'll say used to, you know, just put it the former, just put it that way. The glass dick hasn't seen me since I've seen it. And, but anyway, I enjoyed overhearing what they were saying, especially when it came down to the part where the one girl was just like, you know, and we're sober, blah, 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 blah. Then the other girl chimed in and was just like, yeah, it does feel good to be sober. And that, especially for a person that's going through their own demons, to hear that, knowing exactly where they're coming from and what they're talking about, it's a good feeling. And I'm happy for those girls, and hopefully they stay on the straight and narrow and don't do anything to jeopardize their sobriety. But yeah, anyway, back to these ants. Dying to Macy's Earth is the motherfucking truth, because after I killed some of them, there was still some moving around, and I didn't want any of them moving around. Even though after I got rid of the food and all of that, it really wasn't nothing for them to scurry around for. So that probably would have made them retreat right there. But me being anal, I wanted them dead. So I used some diatomaceous earth, and they were still moving at that point. But when I got home, that movement ceased. It came to a halt. I don't know, shit, probably shortly thereafter, putting that diatomaceous earth on that ass. And them ants are small in size too, and diatomaceous earth are like big shards compared to these big ants. I mean, these little ants. Yeah, they got dried out real quick. So hopefully tonight I will get some decent rest without being invaded by ants. What I need to do is clean up real good and make sure there's no food particles within that kitchen or in this living room. Obviously, they've learned that this is where I eat, sleep, and some of everything else. They caught on to the routine, so I'm gonna have to break that routine and do something different. Because I don't have time for them, for them ants. Sorry, ants. Anyway, you guys, I will be having some new pets pretty soon. They're not the tortoises that I'm looking for, even though I may get a couple of small sized tortoises. I just want tortoises in general, so I think some small sized tortoises will do me until otherwise. But I am going to get some parakeets. I've had parrots before, and the small size one, the bungee or bougie or whatever you call them, parrots, and I'm going to give me a couple of those, and I'm excited because it's been a while since I've had a pet. Since my cat passed away, I haven't had any pets or any wanting for any pets, and I still have to tell you guys that particular story because it was a pretty bad one, considering my behalf. I was on methamphetamine at that point. I was very abusive to my cat, and my cat was a beautiful cat. She had beautiful markings, and she was a spirit animal. And I just did not realize how much of a spirit animal I had or have until it was too late. And I fucked it all up. But I will tell you guys, it's my mom calling. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, but I fucked that up, you guys. And I haven't really never shared this story with anyone in regard to what I really done to my cat in a spiritual sense and in this realm. Anyway, I'll get around to that sometime soon. All right, you guys, I guess I'm going to end this. My mom's called. Well, she just called, so I'm going to call her back and see what's up and go from there. Clean up and make sure I don't get any more of these fucking ants. I know that for sure. All right. So you guys have a good one. And as I said, there's going to be moments where I'm going to play music and I'm going to have effects, and there's going to be periods where you're not going to hear shit. You're just going to hear me talking, and I'm just going to dive into what I need to dive into, and let that be the reason. I'm thinking about going live. Well, I am going to go live with you guys for my birthday, which is on Halloween on a Thursday. And I thought I ended the episode at 33:30 yesterday. Okay, hold on. 33:33. Bam.